Hello everyone, welcome back for more Let's Play The Illusion of Gaia. So last we left off, I kinda barely remember because it's been a very long time since I recorded this. But yeah, I believe we just beaten the pyramid, and now we have to talk to Neil to get another airplane that hopefully will not crash, to go to the Tower of Babel. So let's do that. Kinda, yeah. Well, I don't think this was me making up my mind. I think the game did this for me. Probably good idea not to include them. They are not battle-hardened adventurers like 11-year-old Will is. Or 14-year-old... I forget how old he is. I know he's young. Kinda old by anime standards, though. Go figure. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's kinda what we're looking for in an airplane. To not crash. Even though it looks like it's about to fly straight into the ground at that angle. They needed to change that model just a bit. That sprite model looks a bit angled down to me. And it's kind of disconcerting to me that the propeller wasn't actually moving. But, oh well. That's good. He's, well, kind of been around the whole time. Go figure. President of the company, maybe. And my eye is watering. Sorry, folks, but my eye was an uncomfortable amount of water coming out of it. We'll hurry back somewhere, I guess. Assuming we live through this. Did they now? Okay. That's true. Also true. Kinda low on the aspirational chart there, aren't you, Eric? Just pointing that out. And we get a second parachutist. Anybody want to guess who that is? We'll find out soon enough, but I'm pretty sure you can guess. So here we are at the Tower of Babel, the final dungeon in the game. Kinda, sorta. I mean, there is the alternate dungeon, but if you were just playing the game and hadn't been bothering... Excuse me, folks. Thank you, Body, for betraying me there. But if you'd been playing the game, and hadn't bothered collecting the red gems or anything, you wouldn't be worried about the alternate dungeon. And I hate it when games do that. They put up text that you can cancel just by moving the D-pad back. Because we do indeed need to explore this chest, as the text up there would have actually mentioned. Kind of. Because it contains the 50th and last red jewel. Also notice that we are completely out of inventory space. If we'd have had all the herbs at this point, we would not have enough room for everything. Kind of annoying, that. Can we actually discard? No. And we can't throw anything away. But anyway. And we're going to need one more inventory space here. We would be completely overburdened on inventory. They gave you just enough herbs that you can't carry everything. They give you 12 herbs throughout the game. That means we'd have exactly one inventory slot less than we'd need to carry all the necessary, quote-unquote necessary, stuff. But go figure. Anyway, I should go ahead and equip that. But yeah, the Tower of Babel, even though the spikes are there, you can't walk on them. There is no method there to let you walk on them. You just have to get up here and crawl along the side, which should not be a surprise by now. But yeah, as I was about to say before my body and pop-up text boxes interrupted me, this is the last area in the game. The last area in the game, of course, means one thing. Boss rush. Also things popping out of the flute. Yeah, remember that crystal ring King Edward wanted way, way back in the very beginning of the game that got us thrown in the dungeon? Yeah, it was kinda stuck on the flute the whole time. It just kinda looked like a shiny jewel that was set into the flute. But running into that little electric barrier there, or laser barrier, or whatever you want to call it, pops it loose out of the flute, and suddenly we have a ring. And unless we equip said ring, we're not going to get past that barrier. But having the ring on makes that barrier disappear. And we never actually have to equip it again. Kind of an oversight, but there you have it. And surprise, surprise, our second parachutist shows up, and it is indeed Kara. For some reason, she decided to follow us down to the tower. Considering what this place holds, yeah, that's probably not a bad guess. Which is a good point. But yeah, there was another ring there. I don't know if you recall us running into it. I don't even recall if I ran into it. It's been way too long. I need to actually go back and look at the video again. But didn't we find another ring on the gold ship that she held on to? Yeah, ours is dark blue, hers is light blue. The light and the dark coming together. And now we have spirits to talk to. So now we're going to get basically a big info dump, and my eye is watering again. What's going on today with me? I don't know. But yeah, the comet itself basically speeds up evolution. Just in case you hadn't gotten that from the conversations earlier, that's what's going on. The comet's speeding up evolution. Profound effect on the growth of living things. Yeah, when the star nears the orbit, cosmic rays happen and evolution takes its course. Just in case you hadn't gotten that from the previous, hours of gameplay. Yep, took a long time. Insects, fish, reptiles, mammals, humans born, and so human beings have now evolved. Comets are called the spirits of stars. this is something I personally have never experienced or heard or anything of the like, but you know. But also the demon. The one nearing the earth is a demon, meaning malevolent spirit, I guess. So comets are conscious, sapient, I guess. So what we need to do is stop Earth from evolving. And the first step to doing that... The passage of time is different inside here. Time races by. We are not normal humans because we can live here. But apparently time does not flow normally here. I'm guessing it means time is vastly slowed down inside here while it continues on at the normal pace inside the rest of the world. Or something like that. Maybe it means reverse. I don't know. And now we have demons evolved by light that we must put to sleep before we go up. In other words, it's time for a boss rush. Luckily, the boss rush is split up, and we don't have to fight them directly one right after the other. But we could try to pass it, but these doors will not let us pass. Even if we have the ring on. See? So we are stuck. We have to defeat the boss to clear out that path. And to do that, we will need to be Shadow for every single battle from here on out. Luckily, the game will just automatically turn us into Shadow for the boss levels. So we want to go ahead and record. Because this is going to be our last usable save spot throughout most of the boss rush. I'll show you what I mean by that soon enough. But for now, the rest of the tower is going to go fairly similar to this. It's going to pop up an old boss right in front of us. It's going to turn us into Shadow. And you don't have to worry about taking too much damage on this boss because you have the save healing spot like literally right next to you. So you can just kind of power through it. But basically we fight that the exact same way we fought it the last time. Except a lot easier because we're Shadow and have a whole bunch of hit points. So once again, we finished that out. We want to save. I said I wanted to save. So this floor also has a boss on it. Of course it does. And yet another door it's not going to let us pass until we take care of that boss. This video might run a little long, which you've already noticed by the timestamps and such. But now we go to this boss. Come on. And because of invincibility frames from the swinging of the weapon, that boss is trivialized. And now comes the fun part of this boss rush. This was the warm-up, as you might have guessed. But we want to run back to the, we want to run back to here. We want to save. Because we will not have access to this for the rest of the rush. There are 3 more bosses we have to take care of. One of the bosses is pretty much trivial, but the other two are guaranteed to take off some pretty decent chunks of life. This is one of the reasons you want a bunch of herbs on your side. And a bunch of spare lives if you can get it, because we can't get back to that save point after this floor. Because we are going to be taken on an elevator of light that doesn't have a down arrow, apparently. And there are no more... It'd be nice if we could just skip this fight, but we can't. Because it is time. And I do have the... Yeah, I do. Okay. It's time to face the vampires now. Who really aren't that difficult. And there are a couple of ways to fight them, since we've got this evolved form here. But mostly remember that they cannot shoot beams in just every direction they want to. They've got to do it pretty much down quarters. That was not a good move on my part. I didn't quite get to the point where I could... Watch out. But take advantage of the aura there. Ah! I am not doing well. I'm going to have to use some herbs. There we go. And that's how you're supposed to do it. Wait till they come close enough, then you just do this. Yeah, I kind of gave up on that after I'd already lost enough health. But anyway, that is boss fight 3 down. And you notice we're down to like 8 blobs of health there. We have 2 more bosses to go. Now you'd think the best idea would probably be to use a couple of herbs and heal up. Not necessarily. Not yet, anyway. Especially since our next boss is the Sandfanger. And he is just as easy as he always was. He might get a couple of hits in on me, but in general, this is still the same boss from earlier. Missed my opportunity to speed this up. But that's okay, because he is now dead. Now, the next boss we are going to fight is the last one for the whole tower. Well, not the whole tower, but for the boss rush part of it anyway. The next one we are going to fight is the Mummy Queen. Maybe you remember the Mummy Queen. This is a fairly difficult boss fight. That's the wrong way. But yeah, Kara is missing now. And we don't have a door here anymore. Instead, all we have is, well, the second boss we just beat here. Giving us a chance to, you know, save the Earth by taking us to the top floor. Which I don't think is the top floor. See, there was another floor up there. But there's our final boss door for now, the Mummy Queen, and we are down about 24 hit points. This is not a good thing. I'm going to go ahead and use my herbs, a couple of them. Because we only have one more boss to actually fight. And it's probably not a bad idea to, go ahead and use the herbs now. You won't get any more, but hey. So, we're going to fight the Mummy Queen pretty much the exact same way we fought her the last time. Excuse me. And if we get close, I will have to use more herbs to avoid those last ones being a waste. If we get close to death. Avoid getting hit at all is good. Smack her. That was close to getting hurt. Need to avoid damage as much as possible. That is not avoiding damage. You're just out of reach, aren't you? Yes, you are. Come on. Fight is not going well. Just out of range. There you are. Ow. Okay, just because I don't want to risk it. Really wanted to turn around there, but did not give myself the clearance. Okay. And need another herb because I am horrifically sucking this fight. I've got enough herbs left. I'm not worried about the end boss so much. Kind of am, but you know. Usually follow me. Usually don't just bounce around everywhere. That was close. That was very close. And there. Mummy Queen defeated, and it only took all of my herbs to do it. Okay, not all, but more than enough. So let's continue on, shall we? And not speak of the embarrassment that was that boss fight again. But you notice those herbs do not heal a whole lot of damage. They give you 4 pips back, basically. And now we could sit here and wait forever if we wanted to for the elevator to take us up. But instead of using that, we've got to talk to the vampire that we pretty much beat the stuffing out of earlier. Despite the fact that I just put on a clinic on how not to fight the Mummy Queen, we are still able to continue. Oh, come on, I can't even pull my menu screen there. Ah, Kara. Apparently Kara got a ride with the vampire earlier. Kind of. They say. I wonder who they is. Doesn't really explain where you went, though. But you noticed I had to use 6 herbs to get through that fight. That's how badly I performed there. And now we have one last spirit and one last dark space waiting for us. The end boss is through that door. But for now, I will take the full recharge. And yeah, this is the last time the dark spirit is going to talk to us. Gaia, I guess. With the rejuvenated power, defeat the comet, Dark Gaia, and become the Dark Knight. Shadow's greatest power, the Firebird, will arise when you're one with the Light Knight. The Firebird. Gee, I can't imagine what that's referring to at all. Only you can restore Earth, putting all faith in you. We will save the game. Walk out here. And I'm going to call this a finished video. When we return, we're not going to go through that door. Not just yet, because we have one last thing to take care of before we beat the game. We have this guy right here, who's telling us that we are at the point of no return. And if we have any unfinished business whatsoever, we want to return to Dow Village. Why would we want to do this? We'll go into it next time, folks, but I'm sure you can guess. So anyway, take care everyone. I will see you back next time for more.